ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to this special October 1st, uh, this very special broadcast today. This is the Independence Week broadcast with Undaunted, where we will be exploring the magnificent events surrounding the just concluded October 1st Independence Day celebrations of Amazonia. I am Star Smart, and I'm joined by my colleagues, Oni Opala and Tori Pikinsu.
You're welcome back. Tonight, we have the privilege of recounting the events of the first independence, the October 1st Independence Day celebration, a day that stirred the hearts of Amazonians, both at home and abroad. As we delve into the sequence of events, one thing becomes evident. That is, the global commemorations were an undeniable success.
From the beginning, it be show fine, say we Amazonia people there for Homefront. And even the one there for outside, then we prepare fine for this way Amazonia Independence Day. We trunk Tori, the enter say we Amazonian people there. We come be them, they send fine story for outside, they use big placard them. They use different things, they will tell people there for outside say, we don't strong, and our generation, you know, go give up. So we must struggle so that we get with fully independent Amazonia country.
Well, the celebrations kicked off with President Sako's captivating press conference, which was covered by the international press. Amazonians from all corners of Europe flocked to Berlin, Germany, just to witness this historic moment. The vibrant atmosphere was further enhanced by the enchanting gala night, featuring talented musicians like Willie DePari. Back on the home front, the Amazonian Restoration Forces showcased their immense military prowess. Their dedication and unwavering commitment to the cause were all on full display, leaving a lasting impression on all who witnessed it. Meanwhile, back home, the Amazonian Restoration Forces were actively showcasing their military might, demonstrating their commitment to protecting and preserving the Amazonian cause. Their unwavering dedication and bravery exemplified the spirit of the nation, inspiring the hope and resilience within every Amazonian heart.
Amidst their jubilation, it was both encouraging and heartwarming to see that the vision and leadership did not forget about the thousands of Amazonian refugees in neighboring Nigeria. Basic assistance and support were extended to enable them to meet their fundamental needs. These acts of compassion and solidarity serves as a testament to the unity and compassion embedded within the Amazonian spirit. In summary, the October 1st Independence Day celebration was an overwhelming success. The determination, resilience, and unity displayed by Amazonians, both at home and abroad, were all inspiring. It is evident that the fight for a better future, a freer nation, and true independence is not a fleeting sentiment, but a shared vision embraced by all.
As we go enter inside the program wey be happen for Independence Day, e don already show say we big day e be pass fine, e be waka fine. All Ambazonia dem for inside and for outside Ambazonia move all their underbelle for this war for show say we dey exist true and we correct for BB1 and we go fight better, we go free and we go complete with independence for all kind style and e go happen true. This night, as we dey broke una tori, wey e dey show how the celebration in be pass, we go encourage all man say make join we with the strong Ambazonian spirit because we go open the tori and we go open am fine. Me all man e glad for the thing wey we don do and for the place where we don reach now so wey e concern this with independence because any place where e dey, if you dey hear we voice now so know say na undaunted news this and if you dey hear we me you should know for that because the night still long and we go broke tori for una the proper kind of way.
Well, the 1st of October was and is certainly one day we can't forget in a hurry. A day printed in history as Ambazonians celebrated their independence. We saw the resilience, the faith, and the hope of Ambazonian people. On the 1st of October, Ambazonians spoke up. They spoke up in loud voices that had been shut up for too long. Spoke up loud, telling the world its untold story. Now let's begin here tonight.
Well, we saw and heard Amazonia and its supporters on the global stage, creating awareness, announcing its story, and sensitizing all nook and cranny of the world about our stolen independence and the recolonization agenda of La Republique, the scorched earth policy to wipe out Amazonia and all evidence of its existence.
From California to Berlin to France and to all corner dem for outside Ambazonia, we Ambazonia people dem comot for outside can talk true say we country must today. And number 1 day for October wey we independence day e be dey and we people dem for all side for dis way dem comot for outside with plenty glad with different clothes dem wey e carry we colour for we flag.
And it marched with the historic Ambarapa and so many other symbols of their fight for freedom and independence, serving as one reminder, a reminder of the struggle Amazonians face back at home.
Amidst the vibrant atmosphere, the air resonated with the powerful chants of freedom, with songs embodying the spirit of the Amazonian people, echoed through the streets, captivating the hearts of onlookers.
1st October na so my country people dem e don turn be na weapon wey we dey use am for show their attention for call their attention for people dem for outside say trouble dey inside Ambazonia. As wey all kind people dem for inside Ambazonia, people dem wey dey like we and people dem wey dey for outside dem be comot for can show we glad dem march. I say march wey be dey no be dey na small one. We Ambazonia people dem for outside my country people dey say lie to lie this time dem no go lock dem up. Me you see am.
Delving deeper into the Homefront celebration on October 1st, 2023, it came and it went into the annals of the Ambazonian quest for freedom. Despite intimidation and threats from the occupier La Republique du Cameroon's Ambazonian land, declaring lockdown and banning all forms of gathering, the valiant Ambazonian restoration forces took these threats as a non-event, going about their agenda to commemorate the Independence Day of Ambazonia.
Now, still on the home front, it went from the north to the south, to the east to the west, all over Ambazonian in the home front. There was ambience as the population turned out in their numbers with peace plans, panforns, showing the Ambazonian colors and flags, demonstrating the joy of entering Boya.
Back for inside home front, as we been glad so, we ARF dem too, they knack plenty better tori as we dem talk thank you for Mr. President Samuel Komesako and IG. March e be dey as I be talk my country people, and we come with them be knack better mutumbu. I say dance no be small one, even country dance e dey there for the enough kind of style.
My country people them, for the number 1 day for October, when our Independence Day, you don't to stand like a better day inside Ambazonia for this year. As we, now this day, they make our remember, so we fight for independence. Except as we head boy them for the Republic where the day inside Ambaland, did the talk say, me we home country Sunday, would this be big day for glad? And say, me people they no can gather for celebrate this day. This talk where they talk and so, they enter we ear for one side, come off for the other side. We air out at them, they take the throw in our water for dog fire, the back. We air out at them, they do their thing them as they be planned, say they would go on for this day. And it pass fine, with no problem. And from north, so they reach for that side for south. South from east, so they reach for that side for west. Plenty people them be gathered, with the peace plan them, and raffia them too. Ambazonia that color, with their flag them, being show plenty glad for any man will be the entire side for Boya. And people them be sing plenty song there too. Them sing someone say, oh, Megan again, oh, Megan again, when shall I see my home? Them to talk say, so they arish for Boya, and no go stop this waka. For this celebration, we ARF them. They may talk plenty too, how they will also stand with the IG and with Chief Head Boy, Dr. Samuel Ikomesako. That means say, we people them be come off the road, they march, and plenty country dance too we follow. And so it shows the day it will pass fine. Now me Wakaman Kimbi, and I talk so for Homefront for Undaunted PG News.
Before we get to see what happened in the refugees in neighboring Nigeria and other countries, let's get back to see the video from the diaspora Ambazonians.
Woo! Victory! British Boya! Accompanying the free people of Ambazonia to fight for their freedom. Free indeed, Ambazonia is free. Indeed, victory! Holy Watade! Holy Watade! Holy Watade! Holy Watade! Papa I will never follow you. If you want to kill me, Holy Watade! Holy Watade! Stop the genocide! You started the Again! Stop the genocide! You started Again! Stop the genocide! You started Rising, Ambassador rising to follow. Start rising to follow more. Rising, Ambassador rising to follow. Mama Rodeo, if you want to kill me and die. I will never follow you to your world. If you want to kill me and die. I will never follow you to your world. No go tire, holy Watade. No go tire, holy Watade. No go tire, holy Watade. Holy Watade.
While the refugees in neighboring Nigeria were not left out, the refugees precisely in Biafra refugee camp celebrated the Independence Day in a special way. Well, there was so much dancing, singing, and many inherent activities.
As we come in them, be the glad plenty. The glad it be too much, they maybe dance. So and them carry picture for the chief head boy from Governor Master President Samuel Komesako.
Well, the day was successful and food items were distributed to the refugees to mark the special day. Let's take a look.
Independent Day, because of October 2021. Excellency President Samuel Komesako.
Give me the power, give me the freedom. Your people are crying, why won't you listen? Seeking for justice, for a brighter future. Let's do this together in peace and harmony. CC go take us there.
You too, once you're in your mood too, you are that's not how you behave. I'll talk. Well, I'm sure that the refugees can wait for another Independence Day to come so that they can have so much fun. Moving on, while the Independence Day went on, the lockdown was still observed in terms of ghost towns. Countless colonial law Republic to Cameroon government surrogates have employed diverse means in fighting Monday ghost towns in vain. Such individuals have realized that it can never work and have abandoned the fight as well.
Some Republic coloniative people dem no wan learn sense. In fact, I no know wetin e happen for Ekema Patrick wey dem no wan learn. Dem suffer Republic mayor wey dey now so for Boya, dey still worry we come be dem for there. Say make dem open their business place for Monday, and wey e sabi say that Monday so na we country Sunday we dey ever get am. So that last Monday wey be na number 2 day for inside October month, e disturb our people dem plenty for that side, and e wan spoil all thing na for spoil am.
Well, shop owners do not have the right to decide when to open their shop, has seemingly been the case with this colonial surrogate. Why can't the mayor put up council own shops to, why can't he make them operate on Mondays is what we wonder. Well, we'll have Gabelison tell us the full on this.
The colonial mayor of Boya, in-house slave Mafani Namange, has been selling shops in his municipality for respecting lockdown. In a security meeting held a few days back, the colonial mayor promised to take severe measures in a bid to dissuade traders from locking their shops on lockdown days imposed by the interim government. Any business premise which has the audacity to close down under the pretext of ghost town, we are going to help him or her to close down permanently by selling such shops or businesses, he said. Reports say those whose shops have been sealed by the council will be forced to disburse the sum of 50,000 francs CFA before being able to reopen their various shops. It should be recalled that for the past years, Monday has been considered a traditional lockdown day following instructions by the Ambazonian interim government. Some persons who have attempted to defy the said instructions have lost their lives by either gun or arson. The situation has left residents of Boya in a dilemma as their lives are equally at stake.
Wednesday, the 4th of October, La Republic de Cameroon terrorist station in Tadu sneaked overnight into Kikiakom. They were led by a blackleg. Their target was one blackleg who had been arrested by the warriors.
Now, the Almighty Bui warriors, under the command of Major General Tolkien Du, got intel on their movement around 5 a.m. Amber time and immediately rallied his warriors for battle. According to reports, as soon as the La Republic terrorists discovered that their presence has been noticed, they quickly rushed out with the speed of light. They, however, succeeded in killing a civilian who was handicapped and ran away with 10 prisoners.
For another big story where it happened today, we strong Bui warrior them, we strong ARF them, under the commander for General Wonyo and Colonel Isaga, Inter for inside Dongaman to go do some fine work around that side for 3 corner. Then they send like 7 Tif Ekelebe them with for 6 feet, and then even their commander, their Nyanyan commander, we just joined them for inter the war with people. They send all them for 6 feet, one time.
Well, the results from today's actions are the death of at least 7 La Republic to Cameroon terrorist soldiers, plus their commander who sent others 6 feet in at Undu. The Bui warriors are once again calling on La Republic to Cameroon elements in Bui and Ambazonia as a whole to hand over their weapons to the nearest Ambazonia restoration forces, that's any ARF base, and be given a safe passage to a safe neighboring country.
We Bui ARF them, they call Amazonian people, even their friend them, people that way they like true talk, they like justice, peace, and independence. Same me they can support. See, they did war where they fight and they go for front, so they want to say maybe turn up for their back and maybe turn up strong. So that last we country it go survive and we independent it go stand. When I see the video.
Yeah, today the 4th of October. They scored this. Now with this, we'll see the fight since morning. Yeah, they under attack. We enter for Wondu. Yes, we don't do that. Kill them. Yes, Major General Viper life. Section no day. General Newsman. Colonel Isaka from Kuvu. Colonel Breeze from the Air Force. Section no day. We see there for duty now, so since morning. So you know easy. They shoot 7 Ekelebe them for there. They wound one of our soldiers. They try way for take and go, follow them. They don't leave them. Yes, we don't still try now for more for bush. We will follow the Ekelebe them. As soon as we see, do town this. We'll still there for there since morning. Yes, we don't shoot 7 Ekelebe them for there, including their big man. A newly appointed big man. So not easy for there. Let's got this. Not easy. The pack fine. Now for only for make a media, Kelebe the nose not go easy for their skin. Yes. We don't follow the Kelebe and so they run keep our soldiers. One of our commander where they be wunji, follow them, shoot them, they still don't leave or picking. Take them come back. Section no day. And the newsman the talk. General warn your life. Your General Viper. Colonel Breeze, Colonel Isaga from Kubu, Section no day. We don't shoot so for free harvest around 7 gun. Ramforce come around 8 motu, around 4 to 8 motu. They can't stand for there, they shoot way over there for harvest again. But we doesn't follow them, we take our soldier where we get small scratch, Section no day. Till we reach Buya.
Well, in the same light, General Hadnock has a message for all. Let's hear him.
Fellow Freedom Crusaders of Ambazonia, once again in the company of General Hanno, who rules Ambazonia, who is the president of Ambazonia. Fellow citizens, this question has been circumvented and used as an excuse by the rogue regime of Yaoundé to dodge the genuine negotiation table prescribed by the international community as the sole path to ending this brutal genocidal war and building sustainable or lasting peace between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. But the regime claims that they do not know with whom to negotiate because according to them, Ambazonia has multiple governments. Unfortunately, some of our brothers and sisters shamelessly and brazenly projected themselves as such in their abortive bid to sell this narrative of the enemy to the international community and even to some of our own brethren, especially those back on the home front. This is not only tantamount to treachery and usurpation, but also to complicity with the murderous regime in the unprovoked mass slaughter of innocent Ambazonians. This has also been a bold attempt by enablers, traitors, and blacklegs masquerading as Ambazonian leaders to confuse, mislead, misguide, and derail the Ambazonian people in their crusade against injustice, colonization, annexation, foreign domination, slavery, indignity, and all forms of imperialism by France and her proxy La République du Cameroon. On September 30, 2023 at 8 p.m. Amber, the eve of the landmark celebration of the 62nd National Day of the Ambazonian Nation, this myth was dissipated. The one and only President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako Ikomi, on the lone national television the ABC TV gave to the nation and the international community that historic address with far-reaching ramifications that will still be digested for all of us to swallow. All Ambazonians who have been misled by the Confucianists and agents of La République du Cameroon have now been stripped of the state jacket and fog of lies and false propaganda that covered them. This is a new era of reawakening in our God-ordained revolution. The masks have finally fallen. La République du Cameroon has no other subterfuge to use and deceive the international community and some of our vulnerable or gullible compatriots. Dictator Paul Biya of Yaoundé and his co-genocide can no longer tell the world or the international community that they do not know the man pulling the strings of the Ambazonian liberation struggle, or that they do not know the man with whom to negotiate. And you still ask me, but General Hanno, Ayukabe Julius, while in Konigi prison, still calls himself president of Ambazonia. What's your take on that? My take? Well, let's examine that in our next audio, in our next issue, in our next outing. But not, Mr. Ayukabe is the former president of Ambazonia, former, and presently he is caged. He is in prison. He is the former president of Ambazonia. We'll talk about that in our next issue, as I've said. God bless Ambazonia and the Ambazonian people. Victory is sure.
All right. Very sad report again, reaching us. The inhabitants of Guzang, a neighborhood in Batibo local government, are still to recover from the shock of witness and the raining of bullets on two of theirs by the armed gang called the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the ADF. This incident took place at a major Guzang junction on the 4th of October. In a video that was taken by the ADF as they committed the act, the watchful population was above 100.
ADF them catch some two country people them for that side for Guzang. Then first the two country people them then she down for down. They should also for emptying ground. And then they tell people they say me the see what they go do there. As they talk so, they not even give the people the chance say me they talk anything for what it happen. Instead, they just open granite, put down for the people that asking anyhow.
Well, there is no sufficient reason as to why this killing, this murder in broad daylight took place. No enough reason was given to the population as justification, because obviously there is no justification to this act as to why these two were executed. Terrified with firing, the population had to run for their lives. Fact remains that this war is not a war against Ambazonians, it's not a war of Ambazonians against Ambazonian civilians, but a war against La République du Cameroon, its annexation, its recolonization. This is what the war is against, and not against Ambazonian civilians. It is just heart-wrenching to watch this video, which from it, one of the innocent civilians assassinated was even making gestures claiming his innocence, but was never given room to express himself. This is one of the many atrocities. This one is way out of proportion, carried out by the ADF. We brought to you series of their kidnap, and now this very extreme case of human rights violation against Ambazonians.
Undaunted got there one of those assassinated got that one of those was a prince with the popular name Heavy San, and the other was called Aburo. This is one too many of the atrocities of the Amazonian Defense Forces on the innocent civilian population of the Federal Republic. Guzang, where the incident took place, is a neighborhood in Batibo local government area of Momo County. Barrister Ghana, County Chair, has reacted to this. Now, let's hear him.
Fellow Ambazonians. This is Valentine Ghana, the LGA chairman for Mogamo. I come to you to add my voice to the voices of ants that have been expressing sadness at the very, very unfortunate events that transpired in Guzan with the brutal murder of 2 Mogamo natives. That kind of an execution or the execution of any Mogamo is wrong, irrespective of what they did. Neither the Mogamo LGA administration nor the interim government headed by Dr. Samuel Sako has ever been part of this kind of an activity. Neither the Mogamo LGA administration nor the interim government of Dr. Samuel Sako has ever asked or demanded on Mogamoans on the home front to pay any taxes, any ransom, any levies to any group purporting to be in this struggle. Whatever these 2 individuals are suspected of having done, their execution was against our culture, was against our tradition, was against our norms, was against our religion, and was against any norms of civilized behavior. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, also called the ADF, is directly responsible for this act. The head of the ADF, Mr. Cho Ayaba, and his murderous soldier, Efan, all of them working in partnership with Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, Mr. Nji Atanga, are responsible for creating these covert armed groups that are specifically aimed at killing and torturing our people, like they did in Gabu, like they did in Kwakwa, like they did in murdering the school children in Kumba, like they've done all over Ambazonia. Fellow Mogamons have been going through an onslaught of murders, tortures, kidnappings, rapes by both the Cameroon government and by its sister force headed by Cho Ayaba, the Ambazonian Defense Force. The people of Mogamo have borne to have bear the brunt of a lot of these atrocities. This has to end. If you are a Mogamoan and it doesn't pain you in the heart to see what the ADF has been doing and the ADF has done in Mogamo, then maybe you don't have a pulse. Self-defense is our right. Self-defense of our people who are armless and defenseless is our duty. We owe it to ourselves and we definitely owe it to our people. The Cameroon government's forces in Mogamo are definitely helping the ADF to commit these atrocities on our people. We will be taking steps to ensure that we can secure the means for our people to defend themselves. I will be putting a communique by the end of today, October 5th, 2023. The Mogamo LGA executive will be having an emergency meeting tomorrow evening to brainstorm on how to address this. We will also be organizing a Mogamo General Assembly on Saturday, October 7th, 2023 at 3 p.m. We call on all Mogamoans to do all they can to attend this General Assembly so that with one voice, we can begin to come up with the strategies that will help to defend our people. We are calling on our people to rise up with their voices, with their resources, and yes, to secure the means through which we can bring safety to our people. We know the Cameroon government is interested in seeing our people killing each other so that they can foster their aims of continuing to colonize and annex our people and escape the wrath of UN resolutions 1608 and 1514, which will give them the power to continue to enslave our people, to continue to enslave Ambazonia. This is the task that has certainly been given to Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration, Mr. Paul Nji Atanga. And this is the task and the purpose which Mr. Paul Nji Atanga is sharing with Mr. Cho Ayaba, to use the ADF to weaken, to kill, to rape, and to execute our people. people. As the Mogamo LGA executive, as part of and the head of the Mogamo LGA executive, we have been tasked to attend to the needs of our people, to secure the means that are possible to defend our people from the murderous and genocidal Cameroon government. We have a litany of events all over Mogamo and all over Ambazonia where the Cameroon government forces have been killing our defenseless people, innocent children, mothers, grandmothers, fathers, and grandfathers, the crippled. Nobody is spared from these actions of the Cameroon government. Fellow Mogamons, there are a lot of things for us to address, including the issue of the leadership of our LG and the resurgence of activity that will contribute to finally address this curse, this aberration, these atrocities that have been perpetuated by the ADF on our people. I look forward to meeting with you on Saturday, October 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and begin to take those steps that are necessary, that are essential to address the ADF on our people. With my experience over the past 2.5 years and some of the betrayals that we've had, I know the journey is to be easy. I know the challenges are going to be tough. I know the criticisms will come from several angles, ceaselessly. But fellow Mogamons, we do not have a choice. We can either sit idly by and observe the partnership of the Cameroon government, its Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Giatanga, its genocidal generals, working with the ADF to continue killing our people, or employing the right of self-defense. We can take those steps to ensure that our people have a modicum of safety. I look forward to speaking with you. I look forward to planning with you. And I look forward to taking successful actions that will enable us to address this scourge of our people in Mogamo. Thank you very much. God bless you all. And again, my profound condolence to the families who lost siblings, who lost brothers, whose fathers were executed in Guzan, and all the other Mogamoans who have faced the brunt of this terrorist ADF force. We can do something, and we will do something. God bless you again, and take care.
Well, after seeing that very disturbing video of these two poor Amazonian civilians shot in broad daylight in front of everybody, you would certainly want to agree with Mr. Barrister Ghana on the fact that the ADF are indeed working hand in glove with La Republic on this, their annexation and scorched policy when it comes to Amazonia. Well, this is one of the reasons why the interim government certainly distances itself from the ADF. The interim government, through its spokesperson, also gave Dr. Martin Mungwa, PhD, he also released a communique to this effect. Let's see that.
And people, una don't hear am. Masa Valentine, you don't broke and all, una don't hear am. So we go match fire now with the story.
Still on a very sad note, moving on, after failed colonial dictator Biya reconstruction of Wharton and Amazonia, one of the major outcomes of the failed major national dialogue to Leon Galibu and Southern Cameroonians that they are one and indivisible, which is definitely not true.
People them, where them be the support Republic, say na then they do fine, now so they don't cry, na for cry, especially Sikawe see them see Palava road. If the road where Republic even manage for do serve na some kind of road where we don't even know, and they call and say na konta. The Bamenda Baju Road where Aijo it be built for 1979. They still talk about that road. Chakara Tori they still come over that road, and it don't be like 45 years now since it be that road.
Well, it is impracticable, and in spite of hikes in transport fares, commuters cannot go in and out of Bamenda with ease. It is a tug of war to get through with these unending long queues. Let's have Gabelas and tell us more.
The failed LRC says fighting the rebels is slowing reconstruction of homes, schools, hospitals, and other public buildings in its troubled western regions. Authorities say in the 3 years since the launch of a reconstruction plan for thousands of homes and hundreds of public buildings damaged in the 7-year separatist conflict, less than 100 have been rebuilt. Yaoundé in 2020 launched a reconstruction and development plan for the Northwest and Southwest regions. The government promised to reconstruct 12,000 private homes, schools, hospitals, bridges, and markets that were destroyed or damaged in the fighting. He blames ongoing fighting for the slow pace and says rebels regularly seize and destroy construction materials and abduct workers for ransom. The original plan called for $150 million in rebuilding costs. Cameroon says it will provide 70% of the funds, while the rest will be covered by international donors, including the UN, France, and private companies, both local and foreign.
Oh, well, moving on. Considering what teachers take home at the end of the month as wages or salaries, life could have been hell for some teachers in Ambazonian most, especially with those in privately and mission-owned schools.
Well, some schools proprietors charge huge sum for fees, yet they are unable to pay their staff. And even if they want to meet up with their teachers' salaries, it wouldn't be regular. The interim government has to step in here to ensure that teachers, IDPs, and refugees in neighboring countries.
Them sack some teacher and Gondere for that side for Beya. This teacher be one take style for add kind money for inside salary. He dey start and say make school pikin dem start to remain after school for say me dey get extra class dem. This teacher dey do am so and he dey force the pikin dem say they must to pay. My question now I wan ask una say this teacher correct so with this kind thing wey he dey do as wey he dey keep the pikin dem after school say he wan still teach dem. Masa Kimbi open with tori for inside the palava.
My country people them. For inside Bamena Naso, na fire. People them with the different side for Alegwe, plus when and when people them, the attack them, so they destroy house them. For Monday, the number 25 day for September, they know they live in peace. The people them, they live in plenty water them. So people them Naso, they sleep set now for outside, with the already broke that house them. With the self fear say they go come again. Now some people them for Alegwe, they told we. Alegwe na some small quarter, within an after industrial area. Place where they walked in them from Kwen then for Bamenda, when a headquarters for Midland Zone for Ambazonia. We told people them we say, Musa be say this nak head down day between people them from Kwen for place where Allegede and people them for Bambili inside Tuba LG. Kwen and Bambili then na sit them for inside Mezam County. This nak head between
Sincerest apologies for that mix-up. We'll definitely rectify that and bring it to you before the end of this news bulletin. But moving on, the land dispute between Nkwem and Bambili leaves many homeless. League residents are now living in fear and uncertainty after several armed young men stormed the area on Monday, September 25th, 2023, destroying homes.
While dozens are now homeless, we're even scared they will come again. A source and a victim who preferred not to be named said that Alegwe is a small community quarter situated after Nkweng Industrial Zone.
When na quarter where is she not inside Banda and a headquarter again for that middle place them where it inside Ambazonia. We tori man for Homefront. Now we tori say small quarter too, it did where they call and say Alege and na really place where it is super fine for Sikadi Palava. How the people there for Bambili and Kwen for then they fight plenty. But come on Kimbi again, still get tori again for both and for we for this Palava.
My country people them. For inside Bamena Naso, na fire. People them with the different side for Alegwe, plus when and when people them, the attack them, so they destroy house them. For Monday, the number 25 day for September, they know they live in peace. The people them, they live in plenty water them. So people them Naso, they sleep set now for outside, with the already broke that house them. With the self fear say they go come again. Now some people them for Alegwe, they told we. Alegwe na some small quarter, within an after industrial area. Place where they walked in them from Kwen then for Bamenda, when a headquarters for Midland Zone for Ambazonia. We told people them we say, Musa be say this nak head down day between people them from Kwen for Pressway Alligate and people them for Bambili inside Tuba LG. Nkwen and Bambili then assist them for inside Mezam County. This naked between Kwen people them and Bambili people them. Be stand since that time them for 1970 them. It sure say we Ambazonia fight when we start for 2016. Don't make this naked between Kwen people them and Bambili people them. We call strong na strong. We tell people them to we say 2020 this house them when people them the strength inside this attack. No be self has them for people them from Kwen or people them for Bambili. Now has them for people them where they just come out different place them. Can't buy land for live inside this and a great place. Be their house them. These people them where the spoil that has them, they know they glad at all for this thing where they happen. As them to talk and say, no man no be one them say, a certain them be day before they can be their house them. This same kind of cat so they happen to plenty for that side them for acquire. Some place them inside Momo, Fako, and Gotekunja County them. For suite 1 week now, plenty house them, where if you want small, na 10, don't fall. When a social the kind destruction there too, it cause them. Plenty people them where they don't spoil their house them. They know they understand why Republican governor, they are equilibre, they know they do know nothing about this matter. And not to say this will Ambazonian fight, they warrant this equilibre them, for to enter this matter. The people them don't use now only small thing them for cover body, as well in the fall and plenty cool day. These people them the two one that say, why fun from Kwen? Except the one for Bambili, Nova Waka can down for this side, for situate the pass. People them for Alleyway, the two back say, no share that story for our side, because they the one time, people them see how we the pass for their side. Then the back said the need them say, people them sitting for do, for help them. And then the back plenty, as well in 2 years say, so other attack, be run to, supposed to happen for the number 2 day for this moon. I beg good people them, where the day aside, I beg when I come help we, and so these people then they cry. Nothing that will happen now, so for this matter, from Kwen, and Bambili people then, they are fight. Now me Wakaman Kimbi, and I the talk so of a Homefront for Undaunted Pigeon News.
My country people them for that palava for teacher where it teach picking them after school. That story it don't come. I would go like say maybe una year and 5 hours where Master Kimbi go broke am.
My country people them, pretty well day today now for that side for Boya. As well mama and papa them for school picking them for St. Teresa for inside Boya. The talk say me people them for St. Teresa be they bring back some teacher where they don't move people walk. As well Mokala people then they ever talk where they don't fire ye, where they don't sack ye. They move this teacher for work. When them say I'm say this teacher, they look out picking them for primary school for St. Teresa, where they don't pay their own money for extra class, where it be the plan for start them. Pass the other picking them, where they never yet pay their own money for that extra class. School picking them, their papa and their mama them write letter for this school. They talk as how way they no like thing where this teacher they do am. Ma picking they go school for St. Teresa, IBS Monaco Boya, for inside Atlantic Zone for Ambazonia. I beg, if you imagine say, there's one teacher, they ask mama and papa them for pay extra classes for picking them for Nezun 1. The woman is stop for teach for break time. And after break time, it is force picking them whenever pay their own money for extra class. Say me then sleep. It is continue to teach the other one them way, they don't pay their own money for extra class. Shared my people them, be told in a strong one who, sir, we don't pay 140,000 francs for school fee. Where school they close now for 2 p.m. And we go school for carry we picking them for 2 p.m. I be say I'm say, anytime where I enter school, my picking the sleep now sleep. So I talk say, I would try sitting where they happen before they picking the sleep all time so. So one day, I say I'm say, this teacher they ever force picking them, say me they sleep after pick time, when they teach you other picking them. But no way no be day for me to talk, because I no be get evidence. I for explain, tire. Now anyway yesterday, this madam sep can't talk for school group. Say that in that way, it did one. Now wow, my country people them. Did very strong. No be small thing. I beg, when I feel help we talk for colonial ministry for basic education. Say me them move the extra class them for small picking them for pre-nursery school, and primary school picking them. From class 3 go down. No be say I no like extra class them. Now just say, it no easy for 3-year-old picking for nursery 1 for the do all that kind of work. My country people them. All this thing when I hear and so, now talk. For one of these picking them, which tell them say me they sleep for class, parents. We don't know whether na mama or papa talk that thing. But in a letter this, where the parent right time send her for school. So after we head boy for the school, head girl, they move this teacher for work. Some picking them, their mama and their papa them, they talk say, may administration bring back this teacher for school. So one then he said talk say, if administration no bring back this teacher, they go move them picking them for the school. My people them. Then they fight justice for Movat, for Niger every day. For Moliko, we dey crying at justice for teacher. No be small thing, no be small thing. Some are country people them. Move just sit down, see what will happen, as how we go. Whether they go bring this teacher back, or they no go bring it. Na tori that way day, for that side for school, for Moliko. Na me, Wakaman Kimbi, and I talk so na for Homefront, for Undaunted Pigeon News.
Well, there are actions within the ongoing war in Amazonia that cannot be attributed to a particular group or another when no one claims responsibility.
Three ginger people dem wey climb on top one bensikin set fire for inside Kwenza, dem council house, dem pick Tokyo enter bush.
It took the prompt intervention of the population to rescue the administrative section of the council. The Fund of Nkweme strongly condemned the arson. Who were those who set the council on fire, and why is a question Gab Ellison will try to find out.
The Fund of Nkwen, His Royal Highness Azefo III, has condemned the burning of the Nkwen Nzer Council Hall. The traditional ruler of one of the three dominant ethnic groups that make up the city of Bamenda condemned the arson of the council hall in strong terms, stating that the attack was anti-development in nature. The fund was among the authorities who visited the Bamenda Council building after a known arsonist attacked and burned down the council hall. This is more than the word terrible, that we come to destroy what has been put in place to serve the community. Fund Azefo III regretted. It's very bad, and we condemn it in strong terms. The council is doing a lot for the community, and we cannot construct, destroy, and rebuild again. That's a waste of resources that could be channeled elsewhere to better the lives of the people, the fund said. He also appreciated the population for coming out in their numbers to prevent the fire from spreading to the other structures. He invited them to stand up like one man and protect their council from invaders. The mayor to the council, Fongo Gletus, said the inferno destroyed the whole ceremonial hall and everything inside, including chairs and the beautiful roof. All the ceremonial chairs, the beautiful roof, and the electricity generator set are all gone. Mayor Fongo cried. The attackers, whose identity is yet unknown, stormed the council at about 12 a.m. on Saturday, September 29th, setting the just renovated and well-equipped ceremonial hall on fire. Residents of the area said they heard heavy gunshots before the building went into flames. Security agents guarding the structure took to their heels before alerting the mayor. The Nkwen Nzer Council is the only council in the Midland Zone of Amazonia under the control of the Social Democratic Front, SDF party. Mayor Fongo Gletus reassured users of council services that all is being done to ensure the institution continues to function despite the arson attack on Saturday morning. He was speaking shortly after visiting the burned ceremonial hall that was recently renovated. We are already taking measures to ensure that council activities are not perturbed in any way because of the arson attack. The incident will not affect the functioning of the council. We are doing all we can to ensure a smooth resumption of council activities, Mayor Fongo said. To prevent further attacks on the council premises, the mayor said a project is being designed to construct a fence around the company. Gab Ellison reporting for Undaunted, ABC Amba News.
Well, this interesting report here that proves nobody wants to be in the Cameroons. We have two Catholic priests from the Diocese of Boya who have been suspended for refusing to return from the USA. The Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Boya, Bishop Michael Miabeswe BB, has suspended two priests for refusing to return to Boya after their mission in the United States of America.
On number 2 day for Inside the Moon, Bishop BB for Boya suspend two father dem, wey dem dey call dem say Father Henry Amin and Father Felix Nkafu. The bishop he broke tori say dem don give plenty warning for that two father dem, but dem no dey hear. Dem no wan come back for inside country.
Well, he said despite repeated reminders from him, they have not come back from the Diocese of Charlotte, where they were sent as Fidel Dunham to assume their new functions in their diocese of incarnation. The suspension, according to Bishop Bibi's letter, involves prohibition from celebrating or concelebrating in public masses and prohibition from celebrating private masses. They will have to face the above-mentioned suspension until they are ready to return to the Diocese of Buea. Moving on, you will recall that is this particular report about a lady whose name is Blessing. That lady used the screen in a jiffy. Blessing is a refugee lady who was very sick. Now, this particular story we reported earlier during one of the pigeon bulletins on the day with President Samuel Ikomisako, who answered some vital questions about the crisis in Amazonia.
Well, the president did say that money was sent for this woman's treatment. Firstly, we certainly want to thank everyone who has been supporting the struggle, especially those trying to see how they can support the refugees like Blessing out there.
Services of the Federal Republic of Amazonia carried out a fundraising for our elderly refugees following an outcry by Honorable O'Malley.
It's not just a one-time raising of fund kind of presidency. As you can see, during the World Refugee Day, he catered for all of the elderly, all of the sick, and everyone who needed help. These are the funds, the money given to every elderly lady in the neighboring refugee camps.
My country people them, when continue for this year, as you see that video, so now they support that way we president Masa Sako Ekome Sako and governor then they support all these people. But as with the Toru now, Blessing, you don't quarry. Last, the Ngondere, you don't die. Finally, so country people them, the Tory interview said the money where they give for the Blessing, you don't earn for road. The money colors gonna them barefoot for road. Instead of the people then they give the money, since they go give this Blessing a doctor, they not give country people. With the talk, say me when I continue for the support because people then they like this Blessing, plenty, and me no mind all the coup the way that they do all this bad thing there. Because we suppose for help them, they plenty for inside, and they for all refugee camps for Nigeria. Country people, we will continue for the support there. We will not give the support for this account. We are going to see them now. So now the account that we send the money for day. And country people, we will not continue for the support. We will not forget for all this thing away it happen. So we will see them now the account that country people, we will not give the money because people that let it blessing now. So they not going to lose their life. The other day, the person lost his life now because of one bag blood. Country people, now continue for the support.
Well, moving on, the 2023 Amazonia Independence Day has come with some good news to the fandom of UNSO in general. The celebration of the Independence Day came at a time when the fun of UNSO had been out of his palace for years, even now.
The Amazonia Restoration Forces called upon their fund, the paramount ruler of UNSO, to come back home. The Amazonia Restoration Forces equally sent a message to the fund assuring him that the protection of the palace is their responsibility and they won't allow whosoever to penetrate their palace.
We ARF them for so glad we Independent Day for first day for October 2023. So they glad inside palace. As the glad in the day, they broke special story too. Wakaman Kimbi get the story for open up for we fine how it happen. Me we here.
The ARF them for saw they called their chief head boy. When I saw chief for come back inside saw ARF them. They two send talk. Say me saw chief. Me no worry. Me come back for palace. They go look at the fine. Say no nothing. We worry. And the kind talk their knees. We ARF them for saw. They tell them people them. Say be no worry. Or thing will they find as way they celebrate this independence so for this year for 2023. ARF them for saw. They be using with big day like a chance for call on so picking them with the day outside with the run because of fight will be the inside so. Say me they come back with inside so me they should on talk to them see how we go ahead. For years then now fun so then for inside the public their capital when I Yaoundé. So off on their protection again as if we decide now so say go follow na politics instead of the tradition. But now, so boys that they tell for come back, so they go should don't talk to them. Now say we pastor and side for a big day. We just say AR them for so they really try their best for me come say me and Balan be one. Now tell that we come over aside for sort my people there. Now me Wakaman Kimbi. And I talk so now for Homefront for Undaunted Pidgin News.
Whether mommy and papa them, make them stay safe, make them sleep for house without shake, with no fear, because we will be ready.
Still on the ARF, Selwing village of the Santa local government area of Mazum County for a couple of months was still the Colonial Republic of Cameroon government authorities a green zone with no confrontation from the ARFs. Well, right now is a red zone.
Well, after the commander of the restoration forces in that village turned away from his mission and handed himself to the Colonial Republic authorities and subsequently joined the Colonial DDR Center, a wing was like it had fallen into the hands of the Colonial Republic authorities. But there is a paradigm shift.
ARF them for our wing don't do them again. They don't send some Colonial Republic Ekelebe, Semego Salo Ekima. They send him for 6 feet for underground. The question I ask now and I say now who will be the head boy for the ARF them? Wakaman Kimbi get to the inside. Main broken for women here.
ARF them for that side for Awing. Don't serve commander for Awing village inside Santa LG from Mazum County. As way the ARF them for Awing be come out for the number 28 day for September. It be been a fire, so tell book the ekelebe them. They come up place the way they be the height, wrong go, like you picking them. They run so only for one of the ekelebe them for Bab. The no nonsense ARF them. They take weapon from this ekelebe, we brought they no run, lead. Then the two send this ekelebe 6 foot on the ground. And as if you do waka so, it is show we how we ARF them. They move all team for Amazonia, we no be Amazonia own. This come out, we ARF them for how they come up for us so don't show say them be so quiet so the plan that they beating them will go walk up as how a general for the place which surrender. Undaunted never know who be this people be ekelebe will boys them move on for game. But you expect to read the enter way. And so to the winner. And me Wakaman Kimbi and I talk so at Homefront for Undaunted Pidgin News. And me Wakaman Kimbi and I talk so now for Homefront for Undaunted Pidgin News.
And now onto the African scene. We will be diving into the shared history of Nigeria and Southern Cameroons and how it calls for responsibility from Nigeria as well.
Well, it's a pleasure that we are here to talk about all of the partnership, the club members, the partners, the esteemed viewers. Let's talk about all of these important issue as we explore together.
We no fit wait for open unatori for how it happen inside the history where it passed for inside the palava for the two country there. The role where Nigeria it get them for play for this palava for justice for Southern Cameroon.
Well, let's take a little historical background. To really understand the context of this issue, let's take a look at the historical background of Nigeria and Southern Cameroons. Both nations were once under the British colonial rule during the scramble for Africa and after the First World War.
While Nigeria gained independence in 1960, Southern Cameroons were manipulated to become part of French Cameroon through a controversial United Nations plebiscite in 1961. Unfortunately, this plebiscite was marred by irregularities and political maneuverings that didn't consider the aspirations of the Amazonian people.
It is very, very important. So we understand how we history and the history for Nigerian people then it be happen and how it don't affect this condition where we did it now. So
what is the responsibility of Nigeria? Well, Nigeria, as the largest and most influential country in the West Africa, has a moral responsibility to support the restoration of Southern Cameroon's stolen independence. Not only did Nigeria vote for Southern Cameroon's independence, but it also shares a deep historical connection with the region.
Well, the representatives of the Southern Cameroons were included in Nigeria's Enugu House of Representatives during the colonial era, highlighting the intertwined history between these two nations.
This kind of fine way for do thing dem, e dey very important too because we go remember how the history wey e pass for we country and the one for Nigeria e happen. E go help we so dat make we get we independence inside Southern Cameroon.
Well, diplomatically, speaking on the fairness and accountability, it would be unfair for Nigeria to stand idly by and ignore the plight of the Amazonians. Their shared history and Nigeria's support for their independence demands a proactive approach in addressing their grievances.
Nigeria should leverage its influence to advocate for justice and call upon the international community to recognize Southern Cameroons as a separate entity deserving of self-determination.
This kind of fine and correct way for do thing dem dey very very important wey we go use am for end the struggle inside this country.
Well, on a positive note, we must acknowledge Nigeria's commendable efforts in hosting refugees from the southern Cameroons by providing shelter, safety, and support to those fleeing conflict and persecution. Nigeria has shown its commitment to standing with the Amazonians in their fight for independence.
This humanitarian gesture not only reflects Nigeria's compassion, but also highlights the shared cultural, historical ties between the two nations.
E dey very very important to say make we suppose for the talk thank you for Nigeria seek as the effort dem and all the help wey e dey give with refugee people dem for inside the country.
Well, in conclusion, it is undeniable that Nigeria and Southern Cameroons share a complex history that calls for responsibility and justice. Nigeria must acknowledge its role in supporting the Amazonian people and work towards a diplomatic solution to restore the stolen independence of Southern Cameroons.
Through diplomatic fairness, accountability, and recognition of the shared history, Nigeria can take the lead in advocating for justice and self-determination for the Amazonians.
We hope say for this night we don open tori for the proper kind of way wey all we go fit understand we neighbor Nigeria and the role wey e dey play am for inside the struggle.
Soon.
On the foreign scene, Ukraine has become the first country in the world where Turkey has authorized the deployment of production of Bakhtar action attack drones. Turkish company Bakia Makina will invest $100 million in 3 projects in Ukraine, including a drone production plant. The future plants may produce the Axin attack drones. Now, this is what we know. Baker Makina supplies Ukraine with Baker TB2 drones. The company also has a staff of 50 specialists in the country to provide support for drones, CEO Haluk Baker said.
Well, the US Germany, the BRICS summit ended on a positive note in August as the alliance took a historic step to induct 6 new countries into the bloc. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Argentina, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia are now part of the BRICS group. The alliance turned into an 11-member country. And the development has ruffled a lot of feathers in the Western world. The US, Germany, and the European Union are closely watching the BRICS expansion as it threatens the traditional financial order.
Senegal their ekelebe dem wey dem dey work for inside water don block 4 boat dem like for 3 days now, and inside that 3 days they don catch more than 600 people there. Dis come be dem wey dem catch am so na come be dem wey dem wan pass Barca road for go enter inside Spain. Spain na some Mukala man, a country for inside that side for Europe. Tori broke am say only air wey e be dey for water e be strong over so wey e be even push dem, and too that's the same time dem be dey try for the dodge ekelebe dem wey dey be dey for that side for inside water.
Well, the EU is rethinking China business styles state by state. The Western nations and multinational corporations severely impacted by COVID-19 restrictions and supply chain disruptions are reevaluating their approaches towards China. While many Western businesses view China as a vital market, there is considerable uncertainty about the Chinese economic potential recovery. Amid the backdrop of uncertain economic trends in China and globally, the interactions between the world's two largest economy, China and the United States, holds significant stage. And it's on this note that we draw the curtains on tonight's important special briefings. Well, I'm sure that you've learned so many things throughout this special news program we've had for just the independence. We had the post-independence, we had the pre-independence, of course, and we had also the pre-post independence, where we talked about everything that happened in the independence itself. Did you miss any of the speeches? Did you miss any of the protests? Did you miss any of the work? Did you miss any of the celebrations? All you need to do is to visit our website and get all of the full briefings. But from all of us here on the Undaunted studio, we say good night and God bless you.